I'm gonna be honest, but trying out new things is genuinely very intimidating. But here I am again, doing new things. So, hey, hello, my name is Yuma. I am 18 and I'm from Hawaii. I'm currently living in Hawaii, and this is my first video in a while. This is my first video in a while. So, I'm starting this channel to basically document, something I'm trying to figure out. So for the past few years, the thing about me is I've been scheduling every minute of my life. Let's say like trying to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, go straight to running, go do my essays and do everything like so scheduled down to every minute. And I was optimizing every single bits of my life to the point where it just didn't feel like I'm living it. And it was just a complete cycle of do hard things and then get burned out and get motivated again and do hard things more. And then to the point where I didn't know what I was doing, basically. And throughout this winter break, it's New Year's, you have to it's like a time to reflect on who you want to be, what you want to do in life. I've started to think deeply about myself. I've started to see myself in much deeper sense where I felt like, I was just trying to be that high value person that everyone sees on Instagram or YouTube, or I just want to be that high productive person that people look up to. But in reality, that really meant nothing. It felt empty. And I realized I was just trying to be I was just trying to portray myself that I am truly not. I'm just like a fake mask that I was trying to strive for. And that was really, in the deep sense, it was not who I am. And so I realized I was much more like I was running away from my own fears, and I wasn't really running toward anything real. Yeah, so here I am, 2026. I'm trying new things. And it's honestly, before I've done a lot of like, I've tried doing this, I've tried vlogging myself. And at that time, I was just trying to portray myself like someone who's productive, someone who is doing some hard things. But honestly, now I know it won't lead me to something that I am going to be proud of. And yeah, throughout this year, I've learned a lot of things. I've done a lot of things. And yeah, I've grown a lot as well. So I want to kind of experience, that share that learning experience that I've gone throughout this year, as well as more to come. It's just every day I'm going to be developing every single day, and I'm going to be learning new things, feeling new things. And I just want to share that, document that, not just for myself, but future me, as well as others who are on the same journey, who are going through a lot of struggles, just feeling lost. That's exactly where I am. And it's just a learning experience, growth experience. And yeah, every day you look at yourself differently, and every day is kind of like a day where you're not trying to figure out who you are. You're just growing and you're just adapting to yourself. So, you know, throughout this channel, I want to be authentic as possible as who I am, just being a raw version of myself instead of portraying myself as someone who does all these hard things, who does all these, difficult, like productive things, flashy things on social media. I just want to be real because that's what is my value, is to be authentic and connect from deep down of who I am. And I believe that I didn't really connect with myself from deep down. That's why, I've made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of, I've had a lot of aha moments, like realization, especially in these couple days. And I'd also love to share that, step by step and bit by bit, but just starting out something new for this year. And yeah, so basically I'm transitioning from my fear-based, like, grinding. I used to grind as much as I can, and I'm now transitioning my grinding era into building something that actually matters to me, building something of meaning. And that transition is, it's kind of hard because I've been, throughout my life, throughout my self-improvement journey, throughout this like 3 to 4 years of my life, I've been just thinking about, getting a lot of shit done, getting a lot of things done and achieving a lot of things. But now that identity just kind of collapsed. Like, it's not what I was looking for. It's not who I actually am. And that I didn't really have a strong sense of foundation of my value. So my value now is, I want to create something that is meaningful, not just to myself but to others. And yeah, so these three values that I want to live this year, as well as for the rest of my life, is I want to live working on my growth, which is number one. And number two, I want to work on connection, genuine connection with others, and connection to myself. If my mind and my own feelings are disconnected, it's even if you achieve success, I won't really, and like, I won't be happy about it. I won't be content about it. And that's how exactly I felt when I accomplished my goal for 2025. And I'll talk about that later. But number two is connection. Number three is compassion, being kind to others. Sacrificing your own time for the sake of others, for helping others. And I'm gonna be honest, but I'm a self-centered little brat. And sometimes I feel I usually just act for my own sake, for my own benefit. And a lot of the grinding that I've been doing, a lot of the scheduling that I've been doing was just for my own sake, for my own, not profit, but like my own benefit. And I realized that's not gonna really lead me to the version who I want to become. Yeah, so these are the three values: growth, connection, and compassion, that I want to live by, not as just like an abstract idea, but like an actual practice that I want to practice every single day. And yeah, so there is no really like set plans for this channel, for this vlogging that I'm gonna do for like, but it's just going to be raw and honest version of who I am, instead of trying to portray myself as someone different. And that's one of the value that I want to live up by. Growth and authenticity, and just being authentic to who I am is what I truly value and what I truly want to live by. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be messy. The channel's gonna be messy. I'm not here to give you like advice or tips. I'm here to document my own growth, as well as work on, we can work on things together. I'm not here just for myself. I'm here to create genuine connection with people that I'm watching, and just grow together. There is no one single truth, or there is no single reality. I think there's as a person, I'm gonna be genuinely honest. I make a lot of mistakes, and I'm still learning a lot of new things. And yeah, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time, but the thing is, the main thing about the reason why I'm doing is to be real with myself. And sometimes I'm gonna be vulnerable to myself. I'm being vulnerable by sharing my own honest thoughts in front of everyone, in front of the public. But this is what I think will make me stronger in the long run. Because the old me, I used to just run away from being honest with myself, because honesty sometimes sucks. And you don't want to face the hard truths. I didn't want to face the hard truths, but what I've realized, I'm 18 now and I've gone through a lot of things, but I will still have to learn a lot more. But what I've learned is that sometimes you have to face the truth. Sometimes you have to be honest with yourself from the bottom down, from the dark side of who you are. So, yeah. Okay, let's finish this up. So, I'm not here to give you like 10 tips or just rant about, trying to be like those productive gurus or anything. I'm just trying to be real as best as I can. Yeah, so I'm just documenting what happens when an average guy just like me tries to build something that actually means something. So here we are. And so if that resonates with you, stick around. And I don't really force you to at this point, I don't really force you to do anything. I just want to, just exist and be who I am in front of a camera and just talk about things that I've learned, reflect. It's an awesome way to show who I am and just be true to myself, because I think living in this modern world, that's like the number one thing you have to do is be yourself. And a lot of the times we get lost, we get confused of who we are, and that's totally fine. And it's kind of like an exploration of who I am, basically. I still don't know who I am true to myself, like deep down. I still don't know. But as you get older and as you grow, you start to see things, much clearly and much openly. And so that's what I'm looking for. And yeah, I don't really know where this is going, but that's kind of like the point of why I'm doing this. As I go through all of this, video documenting, I'll start to like create goals, create my own style. But this is just the first video, so take it easy. Try not to hurt myself or anything. I don't want to be perfect. The whole point is imperfection. Just be who I am. I don't have to be perfect in front of everyone. And that's who I am. Yeah, but anyways, I am committing to showing up, being present, and creating consistently, so that, yeah, just being real about who I am and what's working and what's not in my life. So yeah, first video done, and let's see what happens. I'll come back. Peace out.